Hey, hey, hey! Welcome back, where dreams are made and, more often than not, brutally crushed by the music industry. Look, we all know the music biz is tough. It's like trying to parallel park a school bus in rush hour traffic while blindfolded with your ears plugged. But fear not, my aspiring Beethovens and Beyoncés, because I'm here to navigate you through this treacherous sea of fame, fortune and face palms. We're diving deep into the 10 things to do and don't do that'll either catapult you to stardom or send you spiraling into a black hole of obscurity. Don't worry, I'm just kidding. Kinda. But seriously, these tips are golden, like the mic stand you'll be rocking once you hit the big time. So buckle up, grab your headphones, and let's get this show on the road. All right, folks, first up on our hit parade of music industry survival tips, networking. Now, before you roll your eyes and click away, hear me out. I know, it sounds about as exciting as watching paint dry to a poker soundtrack, but trust me, this stuff is crucial. Think of it like online dating. But instead of swiping left or right on potential hookups, you're connecting with producers, promoters, and other music folks who could make or break your career. The music industry is a lot like high school, and just with fewer acne breakouts and way more expensive shoes. It's all about who you know and who knows you. So get out there, attend industry events, yes, even the virtual ones, slide into those DMs, respectfully of course, and build genuine connections. Remember, your network is your net worth, especially when your bank account is looking emptier than a rapper's promises. Okay, so you've built yourself a nice little network. You're rubbing shoulders with the who's who of the music scene. Now, here's a golden rule. Don't burn those bridges. Seriously, treat those bridges like they're made of solid gold, because in the music industry, you never know when you might need to cross back over. Look, we all have those moments where we want to unleash our inner diva, right? You know, when that sound guy forgets to turn on your auto-tune and you sound like a dying cat trying to sing opera. It's tempting to go full-on Kanye and rant, rave and throw shade all over the place. But trust me, the music industry is a small world. Word travels faster than a Taylor Swift breakup song, and you don't want to be known as that artist who's impossible to work with. Remember, folks, a little bit of kindness goes a long way. Plus, you never know when your arch nemesis might become your biggest collaborator. It's the music industry after all. Stranger things have happened. Look, the music industry is a lot like a crowded club, right? Everyone's trying to get noticed. Everyone's trying to stand out. But here's the thing. You don't win by being a chameleon, constantly changing your colors to fit in. You win by owning your sound, by being authentically you. Now, that doesn't mean you can't evolve. That doesn't mean you can't experiment. But at your core, your music should reflect who you are as an artist. Think about it, the greats, the legends, they all had a unique sound. They weren't afraid to be different, to push boundaries. They weren't out here sounding like a bad karaoke version of someone else. They were original, and that's what made them unforgettable. So, find your voice, find your sound, and own it, baby. Because in a world full of imitations, authenticity is the ultimate flex. Okay, so you just saw the latest music video, right? The one with the dancing aliens and the catchy beat that's been stuck in your head for days. And now you're thinking, that's it, that's the ticket. I need dancing aliens in my next video. Hold up, my friend, hold up. Don't get caught in the trend trap. See, trends, they come and go faster than a politician's promise during an election year. What's hot today is old news tomorrow. Chasing trends is like trying to catch smoke. You might think you've got it, but all you're left with is a handful of nothing. Your music, it deserves better than that. It deserves to be timeless, to connect with people on a deeper level. Focus on creating music that comes from your heart, music that tells your story. Because that's the kind of music that will still resonate with people long after the dancing aliens have packed up and left the building. Let's be real, people. In the music game, first impressions are everything. And let me tell you, nothing screams amateur hour louder than a track with bad production. It's like trying to sell a gourmet meal that's been served on a dirty plate. Now, I'm not saying you need $1 million studio and a Grammy-winning producer to make good music, but you do need to invest in quality production. A good mix and master can make all the difference in the world. It can take your music from sounding like it was recorded in your mum's basement to sounding like it's ready for the radio. Think of it like this. Your music is a masterpiece, right? So why present it in a cheap, flimsy frame? Invest in a frame that does it justice, a frame that lets your art shine. Invest in quality production. Your ears and your fans will thank you for it. You've poured your heart and soul into your music, spent weeks perfecting every note. Now what? You gotta let the world know it exists. This is the digital age, my friend. Use social media campaigns, music blogs, and online radio. Invest in getting your music heard. You need a strategy. Who's your target audience? Where do they hang out online? Get creative, get strategic, and hustle because no one can hear you whisper. Yo, musicians. Why are there so many boy bands and girl groups out there? Is it because matching outfits make the music sound better? Maybe. But the real reason is collaboration. Two heads are better than one. Bouncing ideas, sharing skills, it all adds up. Sharing the stage means less pressure. Find other musicians to work with. Because in music, sometimes you need a little help from your friends. Okay, I know, contracts. They're about as exciting as watching paint dry, right? All those legal terms, clauses, sub-clauses. It's enough to make your head spin faster than a DJ's turntable. But listen up, because this is important. Ignoring contracts is like walking through a music store with your eyes closed and your headphones blasting. You might bump into something great, or you might trip over a tuba and land face first in a drum set. Not ideal, right? Contracts are basically the rulebook of the music industry. They lay out who gets what, when, and how. Ignoring them can lead to all sorts of headaches, from losing ownership of your music to getting stuck in a deal that makes you want to scream louder than a heavy metal concert. And trust me, nobody wants that. Now, I'm not saying you need to become a lawyer overnight, though if you do, congrats on escaping the starving artist stereotype. Just find yourself a good one. Someone who speaks both legalese and musician fluently and can help you navigate the treacherous waters of contracts. Because the last thing you want is to be stuck in a deal that's less win-win and more win-lose, and the loser is you. So, next time someone shoves a contract under your nose, don't just sign it blindly because you're excited about the prospect of fame and fortune. Take a deep breath, channel your inner lawyer, or at least call your actual lawyer, and make sure you understand every single word. Because in the music industry, knowledge is power, and a well-read musician is a protected musician. All right, so you've dropped a couple of tracks, maybe even played a gig or two. You think you've made it? Pump the brakes, my friend. The music game, it's like a shark, man. You gotta keep swimming, keep evolving, or you get left behind looking like a fossilized seashell. This ain't a get-famous quick scheme. It's a marathon, not a sprint. So keep practicing your craft. Learn new instruments, experiment with different sounds, study the greats, and for goodness sake, learn how to set up your own equipment. You ever see Beyoncé looking for a sound guy? Didn't think so. Take some online courses, attend workshops, listen to feedback from other musicians. Trust me, the more you know, the better you'll be. Think of it like this. The more tools you have in your toolbox, the more impressive your musical house will be. And who knows, maybe one day you'll be building mansions. Let's be real. The music industry can be tougher to crack than my grandma's fruitcake recipe. You're going to hear no more often than a telemarketer at dinner time. Rejection, my friend, is as common as a broken guitar string in a rock band. But here's the thing, every no is just a redirection to a bigger, better yes. Think of it like this, even Beyoncé didn't start out headlining Coachella. Even Jay-Z had to convince people he wasn't just a one-hit wonder. Every legend has been told no at some point. It's like a rite of passage, a badge of honor. So when that rejection email hits your inbox, and it will, don't crumble like a bad auto-tune. Dust yourself off, pick up your instrument and use that rejection as fuel. Turn that no into a not yet. Remember, the only way to truly fail is to give up. So you've got the talent, you're honing your skills. But guess what? None of that matters if you don't have an audience vibing with your music. Think of your fans like your investors. They're putting their time, energy, and hopefully their hard-earned cash into supporting you. So show them some love. Respond to comments, run polls on social media, heck, even host a live Quanda session. Get to know the people who are digging your sound. Trust me, there's nothing more powerful than a dedicated fan base who feel connected to you and your music. And remember, word of mouth is still the best marketing tool out there. Treat your fans right and they'll become your own personal street team, spreading the word about your music faster than you can say Spotify playlists. Yo, we got to talk about mental health, people. I'm talking about your actual mental well-being. The music industry is a marathon, not a sprint. It's easy to get caught up in the hustle and forget to take care of yourself. Your mental health is your most valuable instrument. You can't expect it to keep going if you never charge it. Take breaks, exercise, meditate, eat some vegetables. There's no shame in seeing a therapist or counselor. Be kind to your mind, people. Look, I get it. You see these overnight sensations blowing up online and you're like, yo, where's my viral moment? But here's the thing, success in the music industry is rarely instant. Think of it like building a house. You've got to lay the foundation brick by brick, day by day. The music industry is the same way. You've got to write songs, network, perform, promote, because success in this game is a marathon, not a sprint. All right, let's keep it real for a second. You see these headlines like, teenager becomes overnight sensation, or unknown rapper signs $1 million deal, and you start thinking, man, I could be next. But let's not confuse a highlight reel with reality, all right? The truth is, overnight success stories are like unicorns. They're rare and probably mythical creatures. Most successful musicians put in years of hard work, facing countless rejections and setbacks along the way. You've got to hone your craft, build your network, and pay your dues. So yeah, dream big and shoot for the stars. But keep in mind that even rockets take time to reach orbit. Yo, we're talking social media, people. And let me tell you, it's a jungle out there. But instead of lions and tigers and bears, oh my. It's influencers and algorithms and thirst traps. Oh my. Look, social media is your digital storefront. It's where you connect with fans, promote your gigs, and show the world your unique brand of musical genius. But you've got to use it right. This ain't just about posting selfies with your morning coffee, fam. You've got to be strategic. Think of it like fishing. You wouldn't just throw your line in any old pond, would you? You've got to find the right platform, the right bait, and the right time to reel them in. Engage with your followers, share your creative process, and give them a reason to keep coming back for more. Because trust me, in the music industry, visibility is currency, and social media is your free ticket to the global stage. So use it wisely, my friends. Use it wisely. All right, so we just talked about using social media wisely. But there's a fine line between promotion and straight up spamming, people. You don't want to be that guy. We get it. You're excited about your music. But bombarding your followers with endless posts, that's not going to win you any fans. Social media is about building relationships. So chill out with the self-promotion, yeah? Okay, let's talk about something that might make some of you squirm in your seats. Organization and professionalism. I know, sounds about as exciting as watching paint dry, right? But hey, even rock stars have to adult sometimes. Look, the music industry is competitive, like really competitive. And if you want to be taken seriously, you've got to act like a professional. That means showing up on time, meeting deadlines, and keeping your act together. And yes, that includes responding to emails, organizing your schedule, and keeping track of your finances. I know, spreadsheets aren't exactly rock and roll, but trust me, there's nothing less cool than missing out on a gig, because you lost track of the date, or worse, the payment. So ditch the starving artist cliché and embrace the power of a well-organized calendar, a clear inbox, and a solid understanding of your own finances. Because in the music industry, talent will only get you so far. You got to back it up with professionalism, baby. All right, folks, let's talk about risks. You know, those scary things your parents warned you about, like trying to parallel park in downtown New York. But here's the thing about the music industry. It's not your mama's email inbox. It's a jungle out there, and sometimes you've got to swing from the vines. Think about it. Some of the biggest names in music, the ones with diamond records and swimming pools shaped like treble clefs, they got there by taking risks. They tried something different, something nobody else was doing. They zigged when everyone else zagged. And sometimes they fell flat on their faces. But they got back up, dusted themselves off and learned from it. Because that's the other thing about risks. They're like those which one doesn't belong. Puzzles from kindergarten. You learn something every time. Even if it's just, oh, that's why nobody eats that mushroom. You might try a new sound, collaborate with an artist from a totally different genre. Or maybe even wear a meat dress to an awards show. Okay, maybe not the last one, but you get the point. The point is, staying in your comfort zone might feel safe, but it's also a surefire way to blend in with the background noise. And nobody wants to be the musical equivalent of beige wallpaper, am I right? So, be bold, be daring, be the reason your mama tells everyone about that time you took a chance and it actually paid off. All right, aspiring superstars, let's talk feedback. Yeah, that thing your ego hates but your music desperately needs. Constructive criticism is like that friend who tells you your outfit's whack before you go out in public. They might bruise your ego for a minute, but they're saving you from a lifetime of photographic evidence. Find yourself some honest ears, people who'll tell you if your track sounds like a dying cat or a future #1 hit. It just means they care enough to help you polish that masterpiece. So be open, be receptive, and who knows, your next track might just be fire, thanks to a little constructive criticism. Okay, this one's important, people. In the music biz, you might be tempted to lock yourself in your studio. Remember that network you built back in Chapter 2? Connect with other musicians, producers, even the guy who makes the best coffee. Collaboration is key, people. It's like adding spices to your favorite dish. A little bit of this, a pinch of that, and boom, you got yourself a flavor explosion. So there you have it, music lovers, your crash course in navigating the wild, wonderful, and sometimes wacky world of the music industry. We've covered everything from building a network stronger than your grandma's Wi-Fi to the importance of feedback that doesn't require a therapist. Remember, authenticity is your jam, patience is your best friend, and persistence? Well, persistence is basically your manager, always hustling, always pushing you to be your best. Now, before you dash off to conquer the airwaves, and hey, if this whole music thing doesn't work out, you can always become a professional feedback giver. Trust me, the world needs more people who can tell it like it is, especially when it sounds like a dying cat. Keep chasing those dreams, stay true to yourselves, and remember, in the grand orchestra of life, you hold the instrument to your own unique melody. Now go make some noise.